Today's guest is Brady Mullen. He's a representative with the Capital Resource Group in Littleton, Colorado. Stick around to the end of this video because at the end we're going to show you how to subscribe to our newsletter. You can download some free guides and you can win books about exit planning. Thank you to Zarlingo Robb CPAs and Business Advisors in Wheat Ridge, Colorado for providing a location for us to film this episode. At Zarlingo Robb, they think like business owners. For more information about Zarlingo Robb, please click their link in our website show notes. Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors, like today's guest, Brady Mullen, to help business owners like you enjoy more personal freedom, grow your company a little faster, and retire someday on your own terms. Welcome back, Brady.
Thanks.
Today we're going to talk about protecting one of the most important assets of a company, and that's the management team. Okay, so what happens to a company when a key employee dies or becomes disabled?
Well, clearly, Norman, that's disruptive, right? There's, accidents are one of the top 10 leading reasons for death in the country. It's not a small thing. It happens. You just have to accept that happens. And when that happens to a key person in a company, that's clearly a disruptive thing. Those people have important relationships with vendors, with clients, and that can cause, not just somebody passing that you're close to is obviously a terrible thing, but there's also a financial component to that, and it's dangerous to the business.
Okay. And of course, your background's to some extent is insurance, and so, obviously a business owner wants to protect against that, the financial loss of losing a key employee. How does insurance fit into that equation?
It's just the easiest way to deal with an accident of that kind. Key employees, there's always a threat of them leaving and working for someone else. There's nothing that insurance can do to protect against that. But insurance can protect against the death or disability of a key employee. Simply, it's a very inexpensive thing to purchase, and it covers the disability or the death of a key employee and helps the business transition in that period of getting someone to take his or her place. It helps the financial aspect of that. And one of the unintended things, I hadn't even thought about this until I witnessed it myself, but when you have key person insurance in a company and there's a smooth transition financially when someone is gone for whatever reason, it helps the other key employees feel like they're working in a stable environment, that somebody's thinking ahead. I mean, you've worked for somebody who counts the coffee cups, and at some level that can be obnoxious when somebody's super frugal, but at another level, deep down, you're thinking, I'm really glad that they think this way because I'm working for a place that is fiscally responsible. And so you find the other key employees that witness that feel a lot better about where they are, knowing that those kinds of things can be weathered in a financial way. I mean, no insurance can ever bring anybody back, but a company there's a lot of other people depending on that company to run well, and we want to be able to protect against that. Okay, good advice. So we talked about financial consequences, the emotional consequences of losing someone, or I don't really think there's a way to measure that. But when it comes to the financial consequences, there probably are ways to measure it. How would a business owner measure how much insurance they actually needed to replace a lost key employee? Well, there's some metrics that go into that, and I think going through those on a show may not be all that useful, other than, it's because it's going to depend on the role of that person, what kind of relationships they have with vendors and with clients, and how long it would take, what kind of skills they have, because certain skills are more readily available out in the marketplace when you're hunting for someone to replace that person at the workplace. So a lot of those things can go into valuing that, and I always urge people, I know this may sound a little self-serving, but I always urge people to estimate high on that, because in most cases the solution to protecting against that is term insurance, which is very, very inexpensive. So I always recommend err on the high side, because if something does happen, it's very inexpensive to purchase, and if something does happen, if you have a little extra cash at the end of the day after that person is replaced and things are back up and running at a new normal, it will never be the same because everyone's individual. But having a little extra cash in the bank is never going to hurt. So, and it's so inexpensive to purchase, it's just and you can never exactly measure that person's replacement cost, because immeasurable.
Yeah, and you won't know until it's too late to measure it.
Right. So I always just mention or recommend to err on the high side because it's so inexpensive to protect against.
Okay, good advice. And then the last thing, when you get involved with a business owner, and lots of times, different things come up, buy-sell agreements, key person insurance, that sort of thing. It's probably not that uncommon if it's a new client that they have existing insurance. And so not only should, you're talking to them about, the new insurance they need, how important is it for them to actually let you take a look at what they already have?
Well, here's where I would go with that. We mentioned earlier in the introduction about what sorts of shortcuts people would look to as far as exit planning and making sure that their business is ripe when they need to cash out, need or have to, because they may want to exit in retirement, or they may be unhealthy and need to retire. You want to look at what the smart money does. People that represent investors and are fiduciaries over investors' money, they go into a company and they want to see that the key man insurance is in place and properly done. If it isn't, they're going to discount what they're offering you. And even if you're not selling your business, knowing what those people offer and why they offer what they offer is invaluable information as a business owner, because as the business owner, you're very much invested in your company with a lot of time, a lot of money. And so if they see a risk in your business because the key man insurance or the buy-sell agreements aren't in place properly, if they want a discount for those sorts of things, that should be a red flag to you that as a business owner, your investment is also at risk and could be better utilized. So when going through your business structure at any time, whether that's meeting with an exit planner or for whatever reason getting some financing or something like that, letting those things be an open book to people who are qualified to look at that and help you understand whether that's efficient or not efficient is important.
Yep, always a good time for a second opinion.
Yeah, and it can't hurt to know.
Right.
I, in many cases, come up with ways to combine some insurances. This is insured for that reason. Oh, and if that happens, it could cover this as well. There's a lot of ways to save costs, and having a few practitioners look at it can come up with ideas that one or both, or one or two didn't come up with on their own. It doesn't hurt to have qualified people look at it. And we're very guarded with private information. It's not legal for us to share that anyway. So it doesn't help to have, or doesn't hurt, excuse me, it doesn't hurt to have somebody look at that.
Okay, good advice again. Okay, so for more information about Brady and Capital Resource Group, you can visit the show notes on our website, and we'll have a link to their website there and some other contact information for Brady. And while you're there, subscribe to our newsletter. You can also download some free guides and win a copy of several different books that pertain to exit planning.